While many old residential wall plasters do not contain asbestos, it is not universally the case. Asbestos was used in some plaster products manufactured between the 1920s and 1970s. The presence of asbestos in plaster can vary depending on the location, year of construction, and manufacturer. To determine if wall plaster contains asbestos, it is recommended to have it tested by a qualified professional. Testing involves collecting a sample of the plaster and analyzing it in a laboratory. Asbestos-containing electrical insulation can be found in older homes in various components. Firstly, wiring. Type asbestos wires were used for insulation in older homes. These wires have a white or grey cloth-like outer covering that may contain asbestos fibers. Secondly, electrical tape. Electrical tape used in older homes may contain asbestos. Pay attention to any old, brittle tape that crumbles easily. Thirdly, switch and outlet plates. Old switch and outlet plates may have an asbestos backing. Fourthly, electrical panels. Asbestos cement board was sometimes used as a backing material for electrical panels, especially in older homes. Asbestos in plaster or electrical insulation poses a health risk only when it is disturbed or damaged, releasing asbestos fibers into the air. Activities such as remodeling, drilling, or sanding can create airborne asbestos fibers. It is important to take precautions to avoid exposure if asbestos is suspected. If you are planning to do a work that may disturb old wall plaster or electrical insulation, it is crucial to take precautions. Firstly, hire a licensed and certified asbestos abatement contractor to test for asbestos before starting work. If asbestos is present, the contractor will follow established protocols to safely remove and dispose of it. Secondly, use dust control measures such as HEPA vacuum cleaners and respirators to prevent the spread of asbestos fibers. Thirdly, follow manufacturers' instructions and industry guidelines for handling and disposal of asbestos-containing materials. When dealing with electrical systems in older homes, it's crucial to understand the potential presence and risks associated with asbestos-containing materials. Asbestos was commonly used in various electrical components due to its excellent insulating and fire-resistant properties. However, when disturbed, asbestos fibers can become airborne and pose a serious health hazard. Here's a detailed look at where asbestos might be found in old residential electrical systems and how to handle it safely. One location is wiring insulation. Older homes, particularly those built before the 1980s, might have wiring insulated with asbestos-containing materials. Type asbestos wires, for instance, were widely used. These wires typically feature a white or grey cloth-like outer covering that contains asbestos fibers. If this insulation is frayed, damaged, or disturbed during electrical work, asbestos fibers can be released into the air. Secondly, electrical tape. Asbestos was also incorporated into some types of electrical tape used in older homes. This tape may appear brittle and crumble easily with age. Handling or removing this tape can release asbestos fibers, necessitating careful handling and disposal. Thirdly, switch and outlet boxes. The backing of old switch and outlet boxes might contain asbestos. This was often done to provide additional insulation and fire resistance. When these boxes are removed or worked on, the asbestos backing can be disturbed, leading to fiber release. Fourthly, electrical panels. Asbestos cement board was frequently used as a backing material for electrical panels, especially in homes built before the 1980s. This board provided a fireproof barrier. However, drilling, cutting, or otherwise damaging this board can release asbestos fibers. Fifthly, heating systems. While not strictly electrical, some electrical components of heating systems, such as the wiring to thermostats and control panels, may be insulated with asbestos-containing materials. Sixthly, appliances. Old appliances, such as stoves, water heaters, and dryers, might have internal wiring insulated with asbestos. Servicing or dismantling these appliances could potentially expose individuals to asbestos fibers. The risks associated with asbestos exposure are primarily related to the inhalation of asbestos fibers. These fibers can become lodged in the lungs and, over time can lead to serious health issues, including asbestosis, lung cancer, and mesothelioma. The severity of these risks depends on the duration and intensity of exposure. Therefore, minimizing exposure is critical. Before undertaking any electrical work in an older home, it's essential to take several precautionary measures. 1. Have an asbestos inspection. Hire a qualified asbestos inspector to assess the presence of asbestos-containing materials in the areas where work will be performed. This inspection will identify potential hazards and guide subsequent actions. 2. Hire a certified asbestos abatement contractor. If asbestos-containing materials are identified, it's best to hire a certified asbestos abatement contractor to safely remove or encapsulate the asbestos. These contractors have the training, equipment, and experience necessary to handle asbestos properly. 3. Use personal protective equipment. If you must work in an area where asbestos is suspected but not yet confirmed, wear appropriate personal protective equipment (PPE). This includes a properly fitted respirator such as an N95 or PO100, disposable coveralls, and gloves. 4. Employ dust control measures. Use dust control measures to minimize the release of asbestos fibers. This can include using a HEPA vacuum to clean the work area, wetting materials down to reduce dust, and sealing off the work area with plastic sheeting. 5. Avoid disturbing asbestos-containing materials. If possible, avoid disturbing asbestos-containing materials. Instead of removing asbestos insulation, for example, consider encapsulating it with a sealant to prevent fiber release. 6. Proper disposal. Dispose of asbestos-containing materials properly, following local, state, and federal regulations. Typically, this involves sealing the materials in labeled plastic bags and transporting them to an approved disposal site. 7. Training and awareness. Ensure that anyone working in an area where asbestos might be present is trained and aware of the risks and proper handling procedures. This includes understanding how to identify asbestos-containing materials, use PPE, and implement dust control measures. 8. Documentation. Keep thorough records of any asbestos inspections, abatement work, and disposal procedures. This documentation can be important for future reference and liability protection. When working with the electrical systems in older homes, it's essential to exercise caution and follow best practices to minimize the risk of asbestos exposure. By understanding where asbestos might be found, taking appropriate precautions, and hiring qualified professionals when necessary, you can protect yourself and others from the potential health hazards associated with this material. In addition to the practical steps outlined for handling potential asbestos exposure during electrical work in older homes, it's beneficial to understand the regulatory and legal framework surrounding asbestos. These frameworks provide guidelines and requirements aimed at protecting individuals and the environment from asbestos-related hazards. Firstly, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. In the United States, OSHA sets and enforces standards for workplace safety, including regulations related to asbestos exposure. These standards cover a range of activities, from construction and renovation to general industry. OSHA's asbestos standards outline permissible exposure limits (PEL), require employers to provide training and protective equipment to workers, and mandate specific work practices to minimize asbestos exposure. Employers must also conduct air monitoring to ensure that asbestos levels remain below the PEL. Secondly, Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. The EPA plays a significant role in regulating asbestos under various laws, including the Clean Air Act (CAA) and the Toxic Substances Control Act (TSCA). The EPA has issued regulations to ban or restrict the use of asbestos in certain products and applications. The agency also provides guidance on asbestos abatement and disposal, and it oversees the National Emission Standards for Hazardous Air Pollutants (NETAP) program, which regulates asbestos emissions from demolition and renovation activities. Thirdly, state and local regulations. Many states and local jurisdictions have their own asbestos regulations that may be more stringent than federal requirements. These regulations can cover a variety of issues, including asbestos inspections, abatement procedures, and licensing requirements for asbestos contractors. It's important to be aware of and comply with all applicable state and local regulations in addition to federal laws. Fourthly, asbestos abatement certifications and licensing. Asbestos abatement contractors and workers are often required to be certified or licensed by state or local agencies. Certification programs typically involve training and testing to ensure that individuals have the knowledge and skills necessary to safely handle asbestos-containing materials. Hiring a certified asbestos abatement contractor is essential to ensure that the work is performed in compliance with regulatory requirements. Fifthly, homeowner responsibilities. While homeowners are not always subject to the same regulatory requirements as contractors, they still have a responsibility to protect themselves and others from asbestos exposure. Homeowners should be aware of the potential presence of asbestos in their homes and take appropriate precautions when undertaking renovation or demolition projects. This may involve hiring a qualified asbestos inspector to assess the property and following best practices for handling and disposing of asbestos-containing materials. Sixthly, disclosure requirements. In some jurisdictions, sellers of residential or commercial properties are required to disclose the presence of asbestos to potential buyers. These disclosure requirements are intended to ensure that buyers are aware of potential asbestos hazards before making a purchase. Buyers should carefully review any disclosure documents and consider having the property inspected for asbestos before finalizing the transaction. Seventhly, legal liability. Failure to comply with asbestos regulations can result in significant legal liability. Property owners, contractors, and employers can be held liable for damages resulting from asbestos exposure, including medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Lawsuits involving asbestos-related claims have been a major source of litigation for decades, and companies that manufactured or used asbestos-containing products have faced billions of dollars in settlements and judgments. Understanding the regulatory and legal aspects of asbestos is crucial for anyone involved in construction, renovation, or demolition activities. Compliance with these requirements can help to minimize the risk of asbestos exposure and protect individuals and the environment from the harmful effects of this hazardous material. Furthermore, staying informed about changes in regulations and best practices is essential for ensuring ongoing compliance and maintaining a safe working environment. If you are planning to perform electrical work in an older home, it is advisable to contact your local building department or hire a qualified electrician. They will be able to identify potential asbestos hazards and determine the best course of action. Also remember that proper ventilation is very important to dilute airborne asbestos fibers. Open windows and doors to increase airflow in the work area. If the asbestos-containing material is in good condition and not likely to be disturbed, you may be able to encapsulate it instead of removing it. Encapsulation involves sealing the material with a special coating that prevents asbestos fibers from being released. You should be aware that asbestos fibers can remain in the air for an extended period, so it is important to take steps to prevent them from spreading to other parts of your home. Seal off the work area with plastic sheeting and turn off the heating or cooling system to prevent asbestos fibers from circulating through the ducts.